everybody. This is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and this video is from our interview with Ralph from Ardent Roleplay, and it's going to be on the basic introduction to their software. Thank you, and enjoy.
That's your main menu once you've signed in, so you can create a free account, sign in with Google, Facebook, or Apple ID and stuff, all the usual things. By default, what it shows you is the player interface. Down the bottom is a little switch to change to the GM interface. And it shows you the last campaign that you played or that you ran to go in. So I'm going to go into the GM mode. I'm just going to change to the quick start campaign, which is kind of what everybody starts with. So for the GM, it shows you the character models of the players in there. There's just one character in there. So it's a quick sample session. And then I hit host. It loads that down, unpacks some things. There's a bit of extra info there because I'm in a developer mode account. And then brings that up. So hopefully that went landscape and didn't just go weird.
Yep.
Great. So what you're seeing here is on the left-hand side, you're seeing the list of encounters that I've pre-configured. So I've got an adventurer, a dragon, an alchemist shop, a passageway, and a folded letter. And I can switch through those. So if I just tap on each one and see different stuff. In the middle, I've got 2 columns of the different variant states for those that are set up. So if we look at the alchemist shop, I have an approach view. That's the one that's not to scale, so it's kind of distant. And I've got a little 3D viewer that I can pull up as the GM that lets me, rotate and do all that fun stuff. So here's an alchemist shop that my players might be kind of walking up to and seeing. And in fact, I can show you. I can go into a AR mode in here as well. So here we are. Look, it's you. And so I've got that, and then I aim it down at the I aim it at the card, and nothing happens because what I didn't do on the right-hand column is a list of the players and myself, and whether the model is on or off for that player.
Okay, so if you had multiple players, they would all be listed there.
Exactly. They're all listed there. And I can basically send whatever model I've currently got selected to an individual player or to all players, with that send to all players. So it's basically, I tap, it's this encounter, I tap which of the states it is, and then I just tap where it is, and that's it. So now I've turned that on for here, and then I switch into AR mode. So now when I point it down here, I have a little model pop up. And
yeah, I mean it's pretty awesome. I mean it's and so the prep time for that is not, I mean, like anything that you're going to run. Okay, see, that's cool that you can even pick up the card and the model will move.
Exactly. So it's it's a 3D model, so I can kind of look around, I can get in a bit close, I can pinch zoom, all those fun things. I'll just hop out of here. And players also have a 3D viewer mode where they can also just, pinch it around. And to show if I can go to, so I've got the approach, which is the far out view. I've got the view, which is kind of where you're exploring. I'll just do it in the 3D mode. So that shows me the room without, that's the first floor without the walls, without the roof. So that's what you could be seeing inside. Then you might have a reveal, which I don't think I have on that one. Let's see where I've got a reveal. Here. So this is a letter. So it doesn't have an approach. You're not seeing a tiny little letter in the distance. You're just seeing the kind of view. A reveal is where you've got the different models that you might show to different people. In this case, which one's that? That's the treasure card. switch back in here. Forgot to turn it on again. Doop. So I have this letter. It opens up. This is sort of prop size. So you might hand that letter around to people. It's our most beautiful old font, Ipsum Lorem. You pass it around. No one can read it unless they can somehow decipher Ipsum Lorem. But there's this little exclamation mark on the scroll on the side there. If I tap that, it pops open the text. So you can do things like pass something around, and the one player who speaks Draconic can read it, and the other players can't. And literally, it's just illegible to them, and it isn't to the others. If that person reads it out and translates it for everybody, then I could just turn the translation on for everybody afterwards. And now they all know what it says. They can't read it as such, but they know what it says, so that text would be there. And then the other really nice aspect of that is we've got this little camera icon. If I tap the camera icon, once I've given it access to my camera roll, it takes a quick screenshot. So another pain point that we really have is at the start of a session, people remembering what we were talking about last time. What did you do?
Right.
This way, take some quick shots of the stuff along the way. You've got this really nice visual reminder of things that happened. So that's the reveal state. I'll just go back to the Alchemist shop, and then we've got a resolve. So basically, approach is when you first get context. View is where you can kind of explore and look, just explore the place. I want to look here, I want to look there. Reveal is where you've got different models for different players, generally. And then resolve is when they've done some action and something happens. So resolve. So in the Alchemist store upstairs, you've done some things, and something explodes because you didn't manage to diffuse that thing very well. And if you miss it, you've got a little replay button. You can just kind of play it again and get another look at it. So it's really pre-prepared for players in that way. And then one other thing, I can turn status effects on for characters. So it's just got a couple of status effects kind of listed here. So I can make someone charmed. I applied. You won't see that here, but if I just hop out and come in as a player, load that way. So there's that one other really cool thing. We have a thing called a party card, and the party card shows you the characters for every player in your party. So Morgan is now charmed, and you've got this really cute little charmed effect. If I pinch zoom them out a little bit further. What players can also do is oops, not that one. This one. They can change their health status from high, medium, low, dead. So I can say you're high, which is where they're at. Medium, which is their sort of, bit crouched over. Low, which is they're kind of struggling. Death versus dead. So death is still sort of, so death is a nice dramatic death animation. And then dead is just dead. So, and the cool thing about that is every player has this card, which if you had multiple players, all the players would be laid out on that. And as a player, I need to occasionally go and look at the rest of my party to see how they're doing. Just as if, we're in a combat situation, I'd be looking over my shoulder and just making sure you've still got my back. It sort of eliminates that whole on a scale of 1 to 76. How are you guys feeling at the moment? Which some GMs frown upon. I don't know why. This way, I look down and I go, oh shit, Morgan's in a dying thing. I need to go and factor that into what I'm doing in my actions. The other thing I should mention is that, I'll take it out, our recommended way of playing is that you have a little tabletop tripod, and you just put your phone on that. Then your phone basically just becomes, it's sort of below eye level, it becomes a window onto the table, whether you're playing by yourself or with others. And you're just looking through that in the same way that if I had my glasses on, I'd be looking through my glasses, and they disappear, right? I never sort of say, imagine what I saw through my glasses today when I was out. It's a mediated experience. And every time that we've done play tests with people, and we talk to them about the game afterwards, and even actually myself, if I observe a game and then think about it afterwards, I think about what's on the table, not what I saw on the phone. The phone just disappears.
That was definitely going to be my next question, was how that again, that immersiveness works for people. I mean, so you're saying that most people will just kind of eventually feel like the phone disappears and you're just seeing what you would normally see.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have quite as big an angle, a field of view effectively. Right. But that's, often if it's a mini or a creature and stuff there, that's fine anyway. And what we find is people look at it, you might have a couple of anything else. So I could put this down. So this is a dungeon piece. Morgan's lying in this dungeon and is dying. And just outside, cool. The letter's probably the wrong thing, but let's throw a creature in there. Okay, we've got a dragon there as well, right? So, I can pick the tripod up really easily, have a closer look. This is the tripod on the table. I'm getting still a really good view of the stuff that's going on. And I've still got place for my notes, my dice, all the other stuff that I kind of need.
So this might just be getting too much into the weeds, but how does it know? Like, for people who are listening right now, we could see the dungeon room, and then the dragon was standing in the dungeon room, looking at the mini of the character. But so how did it know to put the dragon in the room, like on top of it, rather than the room on top of the dragon just now? I mean, because you were just laying cards, and then your phone was translating those.
So if I put the card closer to the phone, that I'm seeing that, and as I go closer to the dragon card, the dragon starts to bleed through, and you're going to get that bit of that intersection, like you're seeing here with the thing through the wall. So you just realize I'm gonna, unlike physical models where they would actually bump into each other, obviously,
right?
Digital stuff doesn't bump into each other; it moves through each other. We don't have physics turned on because that becomes really painful. You just get really practiced at kind of placing the card down, slide it slightly. Yep, there you go. There it is. And AR covers physical reality currently. So what we refer to as occlusion, right? So if I've got so let's take this model as an example. I have this dragon, and I'll put my finger here. But if I put my finger right up in front, the dragon still sort of sits on top, even though it's further away, right? The virtual models sort of take precedence, but multiple virtual models don't have that problem. You might have some intersection, but that's that.
Yeah, this was a feature that really popped out to me when I was looking at your webpage, because I thought that this has some definite uses and implications for both like mysteries and intrigue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this seems like a very ambitious project, and that like D&D has like there's pretty much endless possible characters and creatures you can have, and and then you're not just doing D&D, you're doing Cthulhu. So it's like it seems like there's a lot you can put into this. How many models do you
Yeah.
have so far, and like how many
So
do you
we've got a
have
couple of
slated?
hundred models. We've got a couple of hundred models at the moment so far. And yeah, absolutely. The model creation is the ongoing project in a sense. Now we've launched now, it's out. You can download this right now. And then we release more models every month.